turbocharged rally cars of the 1980s. We've got Lancia Delta S4 Integrale, Lancia 037. We've got a little Renault 5 in maxi turbo form, the ex-John Price rally car dressed as a works machine. We've got various MG Metro 6R4s in different colours. We've had some Ford RS200s earlier in the day, but I don't see either of them now. And also the very quick Audi Sport Quattro of David Kedwood. Just picking that effect, I think, yes, I think the RSs have gone out of my sight already. This is Henry Pierman in the Lancia. I think what happened, I think some of those cars may have been sent out round the circuit to come into the pits. Yes, they're coming back now. The Belga 6R4 is next on the line, but here we go. The four-wheel drive Lancia of Henry Pierman, proprietor of Eagle E-Types in East Sussex. And more cars filtering into the back of the pits beneath me.
And obviously worth pointing out, Marcus, at various points around the lap they have to take chicanes that have hurriedly been put out for them to negotiate. So
That's
we're not
right.
seeing their out-and-out cornering speed. What we're seeing is how they can twist around tight little twists that they'd have to do when they get in the forests.
Yeah, number 10 is works as John Saunders on this in the Fabrizio Tabaton colours, the Verth Grifoni team car.
Two-wheel drive really isn't a penalty on a circuit like this, is it?
No, not at all, not at all. This is the little Renault Maxi Turbo, and in the Ragnotti and Timonier colours. It's a car that John Price rallied before. Jeffrey Lott's driving it this weekend.
Joe Ragnotti loves coming to the festival.
Yes, he drives the works car. He drives his original works car. Some of the period film of him in that car, absolutely terrifying to watch. Jeannot is still a great enthusiast of the sport, loves coming to Goodwood.
The SD4 doesn't look as if it should be quick, does it? A rather high-set car, but my word, it is quick.
Yes, it's undramatic in a straight line. Obviously, they're full drama when they're yumping and twisting through forests, but through the chicane, pretty handy.
On a circuit round here, of course, they're not long geared. They're only geared for probably 115, 120 miles an hour, but they get there mightily quickly. This is the John Riggs Microcam car, I think. Yep, and Stuart rolls away in the red Lancia 037.
In fact, when they first took to the circuit this morning, as I was just coming around to the commentary box, I was watching them accelerate out of Lavant, and they weren't that quick going in, but as you say, the speed with which they get back up to the top speed they're gearing up will allow is very, very impressive.
Stuart Larby away in the Works Computer Vision 6R4.
Those 6R4s, they really are one of the very few competition cars that are as wide as they are long.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And it's got that V6 4-valve engine lurking in the rear.
Them got used in the Jaguar XJ220, much to the dismay of some of the people on the
waiting list.
On the waiting list to try to get their money back. Terrific acceleration from a standing start. The funny thing, Marcus, is that 6R4s have never really been useful in hill climbs.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? You'd have thought it's absolutely right for that. They're nippy, they are eminently chuckable. But I suppose you've got to be really confident with them and get some heat into those tyres. I suppose we've seen one or two. We've seen a Sport Quattro. The late Tom Hammonds used to run a Sport Quattro with all the Pikes Peak wings and stuff on it, didn't he? At Shelsley Walsh, and that went pretty well.
And the Works brought Hanno Mikkola to Shelsley.
Yeah.
He broke the slew car record.
The Belga livery, which we saw out in the Marshall Memorial Trophy race there. Clearly a huge amount of success in Belgium with people like Marc Douay on board.
And
the Boucle de Spa.
And the Rondo in the
exactly,
Le
yes.
Mans demo.
It's got the Irishman Howard Redhouse using plenty of grass. He's done some historic rallying in Porsche 911s quite successfully, and also one year did the Tour Britannia in a Lotus 30, like you would.
Gosh.
Oh, you know how various cars have just such an evocative noise. The Sport Quattro just came through St Mary's at full chat. It's taken me way back to watching them on the RAC rally. What a great sound, popping and banging and moving around. Great cars. So there is one of the RS200s, Ian Gwynn, going around that early chicane on the lap.
He's been quick, hasn't he?
He has been quick.
In the weekend,
Yeah, he set the pace yesterday.
Look at the long travel suspension, just shows the difference between a rally car and a race car.
Yes, from some angles the Delta S4 looks a bit like a block of flats as it tries to take a chicane, because it is so lofty.
Oh dear.
Oh.
We've clobbered up a bollard, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Goodwood.
Well, he was going really going for it. The RS200 wasn't hanging around Ian Gwynn as he came past at St Mary's. Here's a replay of a pristine-looking Audi Quattro. And then what happens next? That's called straight lining a chicane, isn't it?
It is. You wouldn't think polystyrene would do such damage.
That's how
I think the bodywork isn't exactly robust at the front end of the car. It's not made for protection.
Well, Goodwood went quickest, but with a 143. But he did straight line that chicane rather well. That's the one that the Renault hit this morning, and it's hit it again.
When you know what you like.
Yeah.
There's the Delta S4, certainly making good progress at that point. How's he going to negotiate the chicane that seems to have been causing so much trouble for them all? Round the kink.
Those flapping mud flaps must make a good noise inside the car.
This is Andrew Beverley.
Yeah, he's negotiated that chicane nicely.
Very
now a new
neat,
fastest time by Ian Gwynn, 142.8. So he's just squeezed less than 0.2 of a second ahead of Goodwood. So it's 5 ahead of 2. The RS200 setting the pace.
Making some speed down there. A little bit of tape at the top of the steering wheel, so when they're all crossed up, they know which is straight ahead.
That's his in lap.